What up, guys? Gishi here. Hello and welcome to my Last Faith boss strategy series. In this video, I'm going to be covering Edwyn, the Shadowscourge Horror. And BAM! Here it is. So, I found that in this fight, it helps to use a weapon with a little bit more range. I went with a rogue build on this playthrough, so I ended up using the Night Tide's route in this battle, which was the weapon at this point in the game that had the most range and was compatible with the build that I went with. You can use whatever melee weapon has the most range for your build. When Edwyn disappears off the top of the screen, followed by falling rocks, he is signaling his drop attack. You basically want to dodge out of the way of the falling rocks because this is where he's going to drop down. When Edwyn lifts his claw in the air like this, he's signaling his spike and flame attack. Notice this pattern on the ground where he's about to slam his claw down. This indicates the area that you will take damage if you are standing in, so you want to move away from that area. After he slams his claw into the ground, 3 purple flames will rise from the ground and home in on you. Best way to avoid these flames is by jumping over the first one and dodge rolling under the second 2. This is another variation of his ground spike attack. He will again raise his claw in the air, but this time he will flash white before slamming it down. Just like with the other version of this attack, you want to avoid being anywhere in the indicated area on the ground. But with this version of the attack, instead of sending out 3 orbs, he will send out a shockwave that will spread out across the screen in both directions. And you are going to need to jump to avoid it, regardless of where you are standing on the screen. When you see Edwyn fly across the screen, he's about to use his Tornado Fireball attack. To avoid this attack, you will need to jump over a total of 6 fireballs while also running away from the tornado. Notice how using the longer range melee weapon allows me to continue attacking him while also keeping my distance and avoiding his attacks. Make sure that you continue to pay attention to where he's going to drop down and where his claw attacks are going to land so that you can continue to attack him while avoiding his attacks. Also, don't forget to use your magic, firearms, and special attacks when you have the right opportunities to use them. Another thing that's important to remember in this fight is that you need to keep kind of moving around the screen a lot, just like he is. Every time he's off the screen, you want to get out of his way as quickly as you can. So you're going to be moving back and forth across the screen quite a bit. This triple flame one is one of the harder ones to avoid, but just remember, jump over the first one and roll under the second 2, and it shouldn't be too difficult. The only way to effectively avoid this attack is by jumping over the fireballs. Don't try dodge rolling under them, it won't work. It's all about really learning the timing. You may find yourself in situations like this where you're too close to jump over the first flame. If that's the case, you should be able to just dodge roll right under all 3 of them. This fight at times might feel like it's going on forever, and that's because of attacks like this. You have to spend a lot more time dodging his attacks than actually attacking him. But if you just keep moving around on the screen and avoiding his attacks and using that melee weapon with the longer range on it whenever you have the opportunity to get in there, you should be able to slowly wear him down. When Edwyn's HP reaches 50%, he will crash through the floor, cueing the second half of the fight. This is the Screeching Fireball attack. It looks a lot more menacing than it actually is. It's actually pretty easy to avoid by just staying low to the ground. You don't even really need to move around that much. The second half of the fight, his drop attack will now have 2 spikes that shoot out in either direction that need to be avoided in addition to the area of the actual attack. When Edwyn clutches his head with both hands, he is signaling the purple triangle death tornado. Edwyn will spawn a tornado that tracks across the screen towards whatever side you are on. Don't forget to account for the spikes associated with the drop attack for the rest of the fight, or you will take a lot of unnecessary damage from them. This is a perfect example of why I suggested using a weapon like the Night Tide's Route for this fight. Notice how, at this distance, I'm still able to get attacks in, but have enough room to dodge his attacks. Right here is an excellent example of how to walk headfirst right into an attack. Not exactly one of my proudest moments. And again, the best technique to deal with this Screeching Fireball attack is to just not move around too much. They tend to like to hit the same spot repeatedly, so you will have better luck trying to just walk out of their path than you will dodging them. For the second half of the fight, this attack will have 4 fireballs instead of 3. If you're able to position yourself on the side of the death tornado that has more space, you can avoid damage by running to the far end of the screen, allowing it to dissipate before it hits you. In order to avoid the 4 flames, you are going to need to jump over the first 2 of them and dodge under the second 2. Like I said before, being successful in this fight depends largely on you being able to dodge his attacks and get in attacks when you have the right opportunities to do so. This is going to take a while. It is a long fight, so just be patient and keep wearing him down. The build that I went with in this playthrough didn't really use firearms much at all, but I would assume that if you have a character that is adept with firearms, that you would be able to use them to slowly whittle him down too, provided that you have the ammo. So let's watch the remainder of the fight at double speed. And there you have it. For completing this fight, you're going to get a dried cold one liver. And if you go into the next room, you're going to get the grappling hook. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for checking out my strategy video. I really hope I was able to help y'all out with beating this boss fight. If you liked my video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the other videos in my channel. Until next time, this is Gishi, checking out.